Howdy folks. Hey, today I decided to make another recipe for you and thought I would just keep it kind of light, summery, kind of simple. Sometimes I just like to do a simple soup, and sometimes a soup is really good in summer. A nice vegetable soup in this case. Well, kind of vegetable soup. So I was looking in my fridge going, what do I want to make today? And I saw, oh yeah, that's right, I had broccoli. And I think whoever harvested this one got a little crazy with the knife. You'll see in a little bit. But anyway, it looks like a nice head of broccoli there. So what I'm going to do, we're going to make some soup with this. So what I've been thinking of was something on the lines of maybe a cheesy cream of broccoli soup. I think that'll be really good. Cheese and broccoli soup. All right, so tell you what, come on over. Let's take a look at this stuff and just get started cutting things up. This is just sort of how I make my food when I'm cooking, folks. I'll pull stuff out, I'll think about what I want, and then boom, there it is. Sometimes you hear the TV in the background. It's always cool too. So anyway, not a big thing. We're gonna have fun with this. This is making soup, come on. All righty. So here's my plan, and that is to just get this basically diced up, okay? I'm going to dice up the stems. I'm going to cut all of the crowns into smaller pieces, with nothing being bigger than maybe that right there. Okay, so keeping it simple. I think outside I hear the dogs going at it. That's pretty cool. Usually I get a nice cameo in here. They don't care what it is I'm cooking, they just want some of it. Okay, so. Something else that I like using in any soup is something to fortify it, and that's onions. You know, onions are a great flavor. They go really well in any soup. And the thing of it is they kind of hide in a soup as well. They produce, well, just a really good, full-bodied flavor. And that's what I like about a good soup. Okay, our onions. I just need to dice these guys up. Get a little bowl to put them in here. So the thing of it is I love onion in my soups. They add a lot of depth and flavor. They add a lot of nutrient value. They're a great way to fortify almost any soup. Alrighty, so I've got the onion cut up, got the broccoli all cut up here. I've got some broth that I'm going to use, and I've got some garlic here. Now I need to crush these garlic cloves because I'm going to use them right now. We're going to use these. Here's the problem. I can cook the onions down and they will become pretty much invisible. We want the soup to look like broccoli, so it's fine for it to look like broccoli. I don't like little bits of garlic floating around in my soup. Well, sometimes I don't care, but sometimes I just don't want the visual. And so I'm going to show you how to get rid of that visual. Today we're just going to cook this in a little bit of the broth to extract the garlic flavor. After that, well, guess what? We're up and cooking. Alrighty. Here. So real quick, I don't have to remove the root or anything like that. Just gently crush each one. Come on, you. That one didn't want to crush that much. Be careful doing that with a knife. You never want to hit the edge of the blade. you could cause injury to yourself. Now, broth. A lot of times when I'm doing this for different dishes, I'll actually cook the garlic down. I'll cook it into some oil. That way that garlic oil combines with the oil that I'm cooking with, and that does great. In this case, I'm going to be cooking in this chicken stock. So I figured, what the hell, we'll simply extract the flavor of the garlic into the stock, and then I'll start cooking my other stuff. This isn't that difficult. So what I need to do is cook the onion until it is soft, and then add the broccoli, cook it until it softens, and then we're going to blend part of it to smooth it out. Then we're going to be adding in some other stuff, like the cream, like the cheese, that kind of thing. Okay? Now, as far as spices, there's all kinds of things I could put in this, but I'm going to keep it simple. Let me see here. Got some garlic. For this dish, oh, let me think here. There we go. A little white pepper. Not a whole lot, we want just a bit. And I'm trying to think if there's any herbs that I want to use here, but nothing's really jumping out at me. Now at present, I've got a high flame underneath this. It's blowing kind of an unusual shape. Let me see here. There we go. That's how we deal with things. All right, so I have been cooking this garlic now for, maybe 5 minutes. It has released its good garlicky essence. There we go. I'm just going to remove that. Get it out of my way. And like I said, this has nothing more to do with anything other than just visual. That's all there is to this. I'm just trying to get certain things, certain specks and bits out of my finished product. Now, onions. The thing of it is, I like to start with the onions because they can just cook all to pieces. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing as overcooking the onion in this case. So we just put it on in there. Okay, and here's a little water. I'm going to add that that's about a cup that I put in there. I'm adding that for the purpose of something to boil out of it, okay? I need some extra liquid there to thin this down a little bit. Now, just going to put a lid on this, bring it to a boil, and I've got some cheese I'm going to have to shred right here. So I'll get that done, and that way it'll be ready to go later. Other than that, the only other thing I need to get out here and ready would be my cream, okay? There it is. This is as hard as it is. It's not tough. Okay, I have given this about 25 minutes to sit here and simmer and get beautiful. And the onions have become quite translucent, so they're going to do really good at this point. I just got to get the broccoli in here. The broccoli is going to need 10 to 15 minutes to cook once it comes up to, a full boil. So I'll bring it to a boil. We'll cook this broccoli. I might add a little more water to this, as you can see. And we'll also be, after this gets cooked down, we'll be adding some cream to it and then working the cheese into it and turn it into something real special. There we go. Turn my temperature back up there. Bring this back to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, I'm going to set the timer for 10 or maybe 12 minutes. I don't know, around there. And that just gives me some idea of when to come back and check it. If the broccoli is tender at that point, that's when I go ahead and finish up the soup. And that's going to be a matter of, we're going to take half of this, run it through a blender to get a nice smooth emulsion, and it'll really help out with the texture. Well, it has cooked long enough to get tender. And what I was doing was testing the stem portion to make sure it was tender enough to chew on, because that's going to be the toughest part of it. Now I need to get, I'm just going to drop the heat. I need to get some of this into this for the purpose of getting it all nice and hot, or getting it all nice and blended. There we go. That should do the trick. Now, this is going to get real hot. So I need something that'll act as padding while my hand is up here. Here we go. There we have it. Right back into the pot. Wasn't that simple? All right, easy enough. At this point, I need to get some cream down in here. Look at that. It almost looks cream of already, but it's a real hearty, full-bodied soup. And it looks like it's doing well. So heat back underneath it. Now again, not really using any measurements here. I'm just cooking, plain and simple. I do this a lot. There we are. That's nice. So while I'm bringing this up in temperature, I can also get some cheese in this. Something I want to do though is I don't want to season this up with a lot of salt until I get my cheese in there. The cheese is going to have a salty quality to it. So does that chicken broth that I put in there. There was some sodium in it. So I have to take that into consideration. Now, I have not put any pepper in there, but now I'm just going to do a light sprinkle. That's probably all that we'll need. If I need to add a little more later, not a problem. Just gently sprinkle in some more. Oops, I'm making a mess. It happens. I think this is mostly about just being patient at this point, getting that cheese to melt, bringing it up in temperature, which is up in temperature already. I mean, we got steam coming out of the pot, so it's not exactly cold. There we are. And there it is, folks. This is just everyday cooking. Same stuff I just do on a regular basis, and it makes for some very good food. So I'm going to expect this to be an absolutely delicious, hearty, very good for the summer kind of soup. What else could I put this with? Well, gosh, it would go well with a baked potato, wouldn't it? You could put pork chops with this. A lot of options. And no matter what, you're going to come out with something just incredible. Alrighty. Always want to use a thermometer. Check my temperatures. I'm at 165 degrees, which is really what we're looking for on a dish like this. I might bring it up to 180, something like that. It'll be just fine at that temperature, and it'll be a good temperature to serve at. So what I want to do now, this is important, always use your fresh spoon and never reuse it when you're doing your tasting. Find out if it's good. Delicious flavors. Put in about a teaspoon. Just a little more pepper, not much. How much did I use on the whole? Somewhere between, I would say, a quarter and maybe a half a teaspoon total. I went fairly light on it. Alrighty, now time for ladling it up. Oh, my favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, that be some good looking soup. I'm here to tell you. That is a beautiful cream of broccoli. Alrighty. Still enough substantial chunks of broccoli. Delicious broth, cheesy, creamy. Folks, that right there is a winner. So easy to do. Give it a try. You're gonna love it. Thank you very much for watching. Click the like button down below. Drop me a message, and if you would, also subscribe if you haven't done so. Turn on the bell so you get notifications. You know that stuff. The same thing you hear everybody else say, right? Thank you very much for watching me. I appreciate your viewership, and I appreciate you. So folks, enjoy your soup and have a good day, all right? Come with me. Ooh, yes.